Good morning. My light's red. There we go. Wait, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna do that stupid mud skipping thing. Yeah. It's in 17 minutes. Is there anything coming up closer? Okay. Whisper my name. Alright. This will be a good warm up. This race is so funny. I think my force feedback's too low. Yes, it is. feel like I can get a 26.
27.195.
I just really have to hug the inside line. Maybe I just need to start from the outside more. Is that the move?
You just hit the fastest lap. Looks like your car is toast.
What makes you say it's toast?
Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane.
I think it's fine.
Press and hold the reset button and we'll come and get you. Your car looks fine. No damage to report. No damage. Car looks clean.
Why is it so hard?
Your car is toast.
It's like the first lap is hard. After that it gets pretty easy, but man, the first lap is hard.
You've got some damage. Let's get that fixed.
Fuck, come on. Damn, I thought I was gonna be smoking this guy. It's 2.4k in dirt, but no, he's faster. Fuck me.
Looks like your car is toast.
How are we just doing so well? Now I can't even get around the track.
Car 21, just set the fastest lap. 26.395. Go low. .914. Slow car ahead. 28.21. Slow car down low.
Good morning. This race is so stupid. Can't believe I'm racing this right now.
Car down low. Car looks fine. No damage to report. Car stop down low. 27.442. Car 582, just set the fastest lap, 26.089.
I thought eclipsing at 26 was crazy, and this guy's up there running at 26.0.
26.509, just set the fastest lap of the session. Just set the fastest lap of the session.
It's probably working. He only really watches when he's off work. Yeah, fake fan for sure.
26.42. Car 582, just set the fastest lap, 25.957.
This week it's just like stupid race week as they prepare for the next season. So this car is like a formula car. That's not supposed to be under, but for some reason it kind of works under.
26.969.
It's just how it is. Man, my upper back is killing me. Ugh. I wonder when the dirt track that's off 55 is going to be on here. It's in this game. Might be a paid track though. I wouldn't buy a dirt track because I will never race it. Jeez, come on. The first like lap, it's so hard to keep the car straight. There's a 6.6K dirt guy in here. That's insane.
Low car up high. Go low. Slow car ahead. Go high.
Special kind of stupid.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
What is he doing? I mean, I don't give a shit, but like, what's he doing?
How tires and bus doesn't work together.
I just don't get how you end up the complete opposite way right there. That's hilarious. I don't think cold tires really matter on the mud, but you know, I think it's just the grooving that matters in the mud, from the little bit I know about dirt racing. Could be wrong. I just can't imagine the tires get that warm.
One more lap. 28.431.
That was really bad.
Chicken flag, chicken flag.
My line is so wide, I need to be shallower. Like that.
lining up on the inside. Closed, pit road is closed. We've put in plenty of fuel to finish the race.
I feel like it's embarrassing that the 6.6K dirt guy didn't qualify first.
807. There are a lot of points on the table. Be smart and get a good finish.
Like, I don't even know how you become 6.6K in dirt, but
5 cars left to grid.
that's a grind. That is like a multi-year, decades-long grind. No, the guy that spun out in front of me is next to me. Made by aliens. Huh. I'm on. Loaded. There we go.
Catch up, 86, car. Letter 1, carbide. You had the position when the yellow flag came out. One to go, next time by. Car looks fine, no damage to report. Get ready, going green. The pace car is off, be ready. Green flag, green flag. 20 laps to go.
Look at these guys. Racing so clean. Oh.
30.432.
I'm going very slow.
One has taken the lead. .27.004. That was your
Arms will be nice and warmed up for Sebring after this, huh?
26.472.
Everybody's just like a little bit faster than everybody, and like there's no like grouping. Everybody's just like a little bit faster than the person behind him.
That was your fastest lap of the session. New fastest lap for you. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 25.57, 26.26. New fastest lap for you. .714. The car in C1 just set the fastest lap. 25.54, 26.405. Car 86 has taken the lead.
This is boring.
26.322.
Yeah, in front of us, slow down a bit.
Go low.
Oh.
Car inside, clear.
Well, that was an anticlimactic ending.
You've got some damage. Let's get that fixed. All the damage is repairable.
Okay, let's never do that again. At least in the mornings. Man, it was so much fun last night when people were actually like racing it. Okay, let's do a real race. It's a shame how Bad Boys Like Girls is live. Like it's not. They sound great. They're so annoying though. All they do is talk about nothing. It's not even like funny. Like when I see All Time Low, they talk a decent amount, but it's like hilarious. When these guys talk, it's just them like hyping themselves up in cringy ways, and it's really weird. For that reason, I'm skipping that song. It's a good song. I just realized the line in this song that says "If you got the money for to pay for Cochran" is referencing O.J. Simpson. You can. It says, "If you got enough money to, you can like murder your wife or something." It'll come up in a second. I think it's in the chorus. Oh, it's dark again.
Give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
Oh, this feels a lot different than dirt. Why don't they just like have the fucking sun out on here this week? I just don't get why they're like, yeah, we're gonna have it like dusk where you can barely see shit. That'll make things fun. So stupid.
Car 1, come down past the flat. 0.707.
I should have tried the Porsche. That's fine. Maybe we'll do that next. I'm driving this like a fucking dirt car. Just like holding on the gas and making micro adjustments. All I did was oval last night. I haven't raced road in a little bit, so I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll figure it out. Definitely not by braking like that. But yeah, the song references O.J. Simpson, and then I think you can run for mayor of DC part. I forget the guy's name. I think he was like a dope dealer or something, and then was the mayor of DC or was allegedly a dope dealer. I don't know. But yeah, the O.J. Simpson's documentary that is on Netflix, pretty good. I didn't realize much about the case. I just knew O.J. Simpson was on trial for murder and got off, even though he was later convicted in civil court. I didn't realize how big of a like race movement it was after the Rodney King things. It's a really interesting point in time. I had no idea all the other stuff that came with the trial. It's a good watch. It's also interesting because it was like one of the first cases that was like nationally televised. The Menendez brothers case was, I think, the first one, and that was before that. And then OJ kind of took over. I think the trials coincided a bit. The Menendez and the OJ Simpson trial, or they were like right after each other. can't hear the car enough. I was like missing shifts. Menendez. That's the last name. It's these two brothers who I guess never convicted, but it's all like alleged and stuff. But their dad like sexually abused them, and so they decided to kill their parents like very brutally with shotguns and stuff. And it was tried at a time before, like, not child abuse among boys was normalized, but it was just like, because it should never be normalized, right? But it was like before like people actually like believed that that was a thing that could happen. And so their case was really stood up on the fact that they were like felt danger for their lives because of their father abusing them and like threatening them, and so they killed him. And the jury of mostly white males found that those like they shouldn't have feared for their lives, which is like incredibly like hasty judgment to pass. And the interesting part about the trials is like if that trial was tried today, it would probably have a totally different outcome. And they're still, both of them are still in prison for life, and they've tried to apply for different like things to reopen the trial and stuff like that. And I think if they were able to retry the case, I think they would be out. But I mean, they're pretty old at this point. I think that was like in the 80s. Yeah, it was really terrible story. The nice thing is like both of them, I mean, it sucks they're in prison. Both of them have made the most of it, and like really support like sexual abuse survivors and all that kind of stuff, and do a lot of good work like educating people on it, like all from prison. And it's like really inspiring to see. Obviously we'll never know, I think, for sure anything, but it's really interesting case. I think it was, I don't remember if that, there's a couple of series on Netflix about it. One came out more recently, and super interesting stuff. But yeah, it's always interesting to see, especially cases that were tried like so long ago, that would have a different outcome based off of the social norms of like today, right? And how the society's evolved. Yeah, we've been into crime and murder documentaries lately. Just started watching Drive to Survive now, though. The new season of Drive to Survive is pretty good so far. I think the first like few episodes, like, it's not super exciting. They spent way too much time on Hamilton going to Ferrari and how shocking it was, like, and then they're just went, I think we just got through like Carlos Sainz actually signing with Williams and stuff, and now they're starting to dip their toes a little bit more in the Max and Lando drama. They like kind of touched on it the last episode. That was really the Lando and Piastri drama after Piastri sent that pass on lap 1 against Lando at Monza, which essentially let Leclerc through past Lando 2, and it just like totally fucked their race strategy. I didn't realize how big of a deal that was internally to the team. Watching the race, like, I was like, well, that was shitty, but I didn't realize that like that was like a real sticking point. I guess they're getting into the shit about Sergio underperforming now after Baku, where he wrecked with Carlos on the like last lap or second to last lap or whatever. I'm excited for qualifying. I probably won't watch it till tomorrow morning. Saw Ollie Bierman crashed in practice 1. Like went off onto the grass and couldn't really get control of it again, and then spun and then nailed the wall. Haas is going to lose so much money this year. Him and Esteban both were at the bottom of the first practice, I think. Esteban's going to be really bad there. That's okay though, I don't like Esteban at all. He's the guy that says that he should be as good as Max because but he isn't because he wasn't afforded the same opportunities. But like, dude, you're an F1 driver, so you're already privileged as shit. You've had to have like a pretty privileged upbringing, and I think he did. And so at that point, like, I think it's just a skill issue. I don't think it's a privilege or opportunity issue. Max literally had racing beat into him, so I don't know, man. I don't know how you compete with that. That's my hot take. Not a big Esteban fan. And his whole thing when he was on, what would it have been, Force India at the time? I don't know if they were Force India or they were Racing Point. When he was a back marker and wrecked Max. Like, he was just doing stupid shit and cost Max, like, I think Max was leading or something, and Esteban, like, spun him. I don't know if it, like, cost Max, like, the, like, I don't know if he wrecked out, but it definitely cost him places. That was a while ago, though. Maybe I should get over it. Esteban just didn't handle it really well. He's like, I did nothing wrong. And it's like, but dude, did you watch the replay? Especially with back markers in F1, they really just like slow down to let people by, and he did not do any of that. 2.8K soft. 7K guy in the front. And then there's a 500 iRating guy. Oh no, that's 8.5K. Never mind. I keep putting into this like these really good splits in this race this week, which is a lot of fun. I got 7th in one of them with a similar strength of field. I don't really know how, to be honest. I'm sure I had some help with just like stupid wrecks, but also that race I was just like flying. I was running 201 after 201. It's such a troll how in this practice, man, I just have like a bubble in my throat. You can kind of see because like the headlights are on. That's why those reflectors are glowing on the sides of the track. But I think it's like right when you enter qualifying, like it's light enough, air quotes light enough, so that so the headlights come off and then you can't see again. And then it's just like, dudes, what are you doing? Like, I hope this is like a bug on iRacing's part, how dark it is here. But it's hilarious that they haven't just overrode the time of day. Like, do they not realize it's like impossible to see anything, or maybe it's on purpose? What is this use? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the point of this series, in addition to Sebring being this weekend and the 12-hour for iRacing being next week, was to show off the new lighting. But I mean, I guess this is technically the new lighting, right? But you can't really appreciate anything because there's no sun and no like light rays and no reflection, and so I don't really know iRacing's thinking there. Maybe it's supposed to be like this and they're just like trolling. That could be that could definitely be a reason. So I still want to try the Porsche here, and I also want to try the Merc here. Because Mike said the Merc was really good here yesterday. Maybe I'll try the Merc first. Like, by the end of the Bathurst week, I think I ended up enjoying the Merc. At first it was just like, this is kind of like a really strange, weighty car. And it's front engine, which I'm not used to in the GT3s. But by the end of it, I was like, this car isn't half bad. I think it's really good for endurance races because it's just so stable. I think it's a lot easier to drive. Like, I think, well, it's a lot simpler to drive. I find the McLaren more intuitive still. But, like, I went on Bathurst after the 12-hour and did the McLaren and was, like, instantly running faster than I was with the Mercedes. But I think, like, the endurance race is so much more just about sustained, consistent lap time. And I wasn't that much faster with the McLaren. And I also feel like I would have had more tire fall off over, like, stint with the McLaren because of the wheel spin and stuff. Like, I think the Mercedes was a pretty solid choice for the Bathurst. A lot of people were running Porsche, which I think also would have been a good choice. There was some BMW, which, like, I don't know, I just don't think I like the BMW GT3. In theory, it would have been a solid choice, though. There's some Acura. People were racing Ferrari there, which I don't know. I feel like that's a tough sell, but I really like the stability. And with all the rain that was, like, intermittent and, like, full-on raining during that, McLaren I don't think would have been as good, because it's okay in the rain, but the nature of Bathurst with all of the, like, really, like, just, like, on throttle, off throttle, on throttle, off throttle stuff, like, I think it would have just not been too good. Kind of sad that I'm missing out on the Sebring 12-hour. Because I could technically race the Friday slot, but I can't take off work for that. Then I'll be out the week after that. I'm running slow. No. We're going to Mexico that week, so we're leaving Saturday for it. I'm really bummed about it. It's also multi-class though. So, like, I don't know. Multi-class here kind of sucks as it is. And over 12 hours, that just sounds kind of annoying, to be honest. And I thought it would be fun to run the GTP here, but just to be the faster car to make it a little bit less mental load. But the team that I run with, like, barely chose that they wanted to do the GT3. And then after this GTP update, I think, like, it's probably the move, because I would have been practicing the old GTP tire model here so much, and then they change it out from under me, and then I have to adjust and everybody else has to adjust. That would just be a lot. Maybe we would have had 2 weeks to practice, so I guess it would have been too bad. But still just like a total change of everything. I think they're running the Vet. Either the Vet or the Merc. I think I might have talked Mike into running the Merc last night. But The vet's pretty good. I don't think... maybe I just need more, like, seat time in it. But I struggle with it, with the back end, which is, like, I think a common thing for people in the vet to struggle with. But, like, the slip angle is great when you get it right, because the car really, like, almost over-rotates. Not, like, in an oversteery way, though. But for me, it's really hard to feel when the back end, at least right now, it starts to slip out to a point where, like, I can't catch it, you know? With the McLaren, if I can feel the back end start to kick out, then I'm able to I'd make an adjustment pretty quickly, and I don't spin this car that often. I don't know what the next event is after that. I think I really want to do the Spa 24. I don't know what the next event is that we would do. I mean, I can look it up, but let's just do that real quick. I think it's under here. There we go. No, Sebring, the Road America 500, but this is the old one, like the old vintage IMSA. I think it'd be fun to do the Indy 500 this year. Coke 600 could also be cool. Touring cars, no. It'd be cool to do the 24 Nürburgring, but that means I have to learn the Nürburgring, and that kind of isn't... I don't know. I just need to learn it, but I've been, like, so bad at it, and I've been putting it off for so long, and when I've tried it, it hasn't worked too well. I would do this. I'd love to do the Spa 24. Indy 6 hour could be cool. Indy road course. This is Supercross, right? Petit Le Mans could be cool. This would be cool. 4-hour endurance at VIR and production car. I really want to do the Daytona 24 next year. I'm really actually bummed that I didn't do it this year, like I should have. I was just like, oh, like,
Sorry for anyone like cheating on
I'm not,
it,
that's a lot to commit to, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. I was totally ready for it. I was just being a bitch about it. But I'm definitely gonna do it next year. The 12 hours was pretty good, like, lengthwise. I was pretty tired by the end of it. Granted, I also was just sitting here the entire time, even not during my stint. Like, I wasn't really, like, getting up and relaxing or too much, you know? I think in a 24-hour race, I would do that, right? Like, I wouldn't just sit here the entire time. Yeah, I really like Daytona. I think it'd be
Yeah, it
fun.
was a fast split, huh?
That Michael guy that was just talked was in one of my races earlier this week.
I'll be fine. My fastest round there is a 2:02.
But I qualified 20th. I qualified 20th, and in this split, I would finish with 43 IR if this was for
As long
points.
as you make it to the last one, we'll place decently.
That's insane.
Rede mal nicht so laut hier. Der Markus Sohn, der streamt. Was ist da los?
Man, I thought there was a lot of crashing in Mazda's Amiga.
Catch start 26 car. Catch start 17 car. Catch start 20 car. Catch start 20 car. Catch start 32.
Okay, spotter, I get it.
29 car.
Don't have to list every fucking car in the field. I generally like the iRacing spotter, but that annoys the shit out of me when you're like sitting there, especially in like IMSA where you're like the GT3s and you're waiting for the other classes to build a gap, and it's just sitting there just like catch up to this car, catch up to that car over and over and over again. I don't know. People like crew chief, but I find the information that it tells me
My
like
only race
useless.
before work today, guys. Try not to crash into me. Swish.
And also the crew chief doesn't have like the damage
What
button
position are you
bind like
starting?
the iRacing spotter has, and I use that a lot. And I don't like having two different voices because that just annoys me. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't find crew chief too useful. Some people do. I think it's more useful for maybe oval or something. When I've used it on road, it's just like tells me like, oh, somebody crashed. We think it's this person, totally unrelated to you, on the other side of the track, or like it's telling me information about like how close or how not close the car is. And I mean, I guess like in front or behind, which I guess would be cool if I'm looking for immersion, right?
What the fuck was that?
But I'd rather just look at the times on my relative because I'm
It's your first week,
constantly
race this
looking
week?
at that for like more in real-time feedback. Like I want to know
Every race.
out of the corner if I have like a run, like if I'm gaining time or not, you know?
First one where I start from the back, yeah.
And so at that point, if crew chief is talking, then it's just like information that's probably not
My first one.
super useful for me. Like I just don't know at that point what it could tell me that would be useful. Maybe I should give it another try. It's been a while since I tried it. I don't know how often that program is updated. I'm sure it is. But I don't know. It's also just another fucking thing that I have to start up at the beginning of the race or at the beginning of like the session, and
The graphic thing,
I
or
don't
there's
know.
no fucking headlight? Fuck.
One other thing that can go wrong.
I was playing yesterday with the graphics, so it doesn't change anything.
I think it'd be a lot more useful for oval, for like spotting. I think that's probably where it shines. You get more feedback on high and low and stuff, I think, in real time, if I remember right.
Because I flash them and I don't even see they flash.
Let's see what we can do here.
Have a good covenant.
Like,
Yesterday,
you
at
can
least it
officially see
was
it.
light out when I was racing here, but now it's just this again. Really depressing looking in Florida. When I've been in Florida, it's either beautifully sunny or torrential downpour, and there's not much in between. Maybe I'll just behave here. Nope, somebody's already crashing behind, just trying to jump the start. Why do people do that? I just don't really understand that. Ooh,
Shit, that's
my
the
God.
left. Oh!
Here on the left. We got damage on the front end. Go left. Left side. On the right. Rewind. Left side.
Oh my God, have you guys ever drove before?
Here on the left.
That was absolute mayhem.
Don't think I've ever seen any fucking more chaotic start.
That was insane.
No, I definitely have this week. That was mild, actually.
Damn.
So front end damage, but it doesn't say anything about aero. What are you doing?
I would drive through because someone thought it was funny to slow down in the formation lap.
If you qualify in 30th place, you naturally have to get to the front as fast as possible in the first turn.
Is she just like troll blocking me? Like what the fuck was
What
that?
happens if you don't
That
go
BMW.
in for the black flag?
I'd be so annoyed if that was like a real race and he was doing that.
They get disqualified.
Probably disqualified.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter in this race, right?
No, but they might throw you out. I don't know.
Ah, yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
I got that little bit of damage, and I really slammed on the brakes and almost got rear-ended because I saw that bumper in front of me and there was smoke around it, and I thought it was a car, and so I was slowing down because I thought I was about to run into a car, and ended up just being a bumper. That was an 18-second off-pace first lap with all of the carnage. That's insane.
Taking the risk for the community.
I don't know how I survived that, to be honest. I also don't know how I'm down 3 positions after that. Maybe, well, I guess I was on a pretty bad position on the track when all that was going down. Shit, I'm really slow. Because
you braked too early.
I had to slow down and a bunch of people were passing on the left. But I didn't, with all that carnage, I didn't expect to be losing positions. I'm just gonna let this Yori guy get by once he's up on me. I'm not gonna fight him. He's like a 4K guy. It's just so dark. You did the move that I wanted to try on that guy the other day, and then ended up wrecking both of us. Or I did try it, just didn't go well. That went well for him. I just think the guy that I tried that on really wasn't paying attention. Or if he was just like, I'm absolutely not giving up this position. Even if we wreck, and then we wrecked. Which either way, that's kind of crazy. I can't tell who is the slow car and who is not the slow car here. I don't want this guy to slow or try to like defend, because I'm not gonna try to pass him. I just want to catch these guys. So I'll back off a bit. The worst part about this is like you can't really see the cars behind without like the headlights on. Like every time somebody comes up behind me, it's kind of a surprise. I'm like, oh shit. If I wasn't paying attention to my mirrors very intently, I didn't even see them coming. I can't imagine multi-class in this.
Is there an incident point limit?
Oh, I guess you would get the blue flag, but still. So I think I need to figure out what series I want to focus on next week. GT3 is at Red Bull rank, which I think is great, and it's like I want to do that. Obviously there's IMSA Sebring, and I feel like so many people are going to be racing that, so it might be like maybe Red Bull ring will be a little bit easier, or way harder because I'm in like higher splits. But I think like based off of the schedules this season, Porsche Cup looks really good.
I want real wide for some reason.
And I think I would like to focus mostly on Porsche Cup. I was gonna do GTPs originally, but I really am not a huge fan of the IMSA schedule. It's a lot of European tracks, which are fine, but I definitely prefer American tracks, I think, which is a wild thing to say. I never thought I would ever say that. But I just find the American tracks to be like a lot more technical in the right ways. Or
You don't get
the
kicked
bigger
from, like,
European tracks are
back
just kind of like annoying to drive sometimes. Like Spa's fun. It's carnagey sometimes, but like I don't know, like Hockenheim is okay. Hungaroring's not that fun. Silverstone's pretty good. I think Porsche Cup is at Silverstone the first week, which I think could be a lot of fun. My cone, my brake marker was destroyed. I couldn't really see the line. I just kind of went on feeling there. I've only really raced Silverstone once in F4 a while ago, but I really like the track. I don't know how a GT3 would be there. So I guess the guy that was slowing up the group ahead was the guy that spun, because they're pulling away now. I'm also just kind of going very slow. Making a few mistakes.
Really nice.
I was having fun doing oval yesterday. I think like I want to do more oval next season, especially the ARCA car. I think the ARCA series this week, I mean, I got a few good races, but there's a lot of people in there that don't do oval, which is totally fine. But a lot of those people like aren't taking it like seriously, which I guess it's week 13, so why would you? But to a point where it's like they're wrecking, doing stupid shit, just trying to send stuff and don't really care about like other drivers on the track, which is kind of annoying because I got fucked by that a few times. Whereas if it was a ranked race, that wouldn't really be happening, or if it is, it's very much frowned upon. But I don't know. So I was originally really wanting to focus on GTPs and maybe the LMP2 this season because I'm generally just faster in a formula car. So like downforce cars I think would be good here. But with the tire model change, which I don't really mind, I think at this point, but the schedule for IMSA I do kind of mind, so I think I should just stick with GT3 some more. So I was kind of, I don't know, I was getting tired of the GT3s because I feel like I was kind of plateauing again. Like I've made a lot of progress on speed with them generally, but I felt like I was kind of plateauing again. But since I've changed my brake feeling with the elastomers, I'm just able to brake a lot better now and a lot more consistently if I'm concentrating. And I think the biggest issue and like the biggest gripe I had with the GT3s is just like my braking was really bad and consistent. I think it's because I just had my brake pedal like set way too stiff. So, I mean, last season if I was at Sebring, I'd be very happy about 202s. And if I was really trying hard right now, I would be running 201s like pretty easily. And that would have been like, I think I only ran like 1 201 lap ever at Sebring before this week. So, and the fact that I was able to do like 202s and 201s without too much time in other cars, like I think the braking was the biggest issue, and I think I solved a lot of that. Shit. Like, my brake shape was good with the old settings. I mean, there's still obviously some improvement I can make to that here, but it was just so wildly inconsistent and I didn't have enough feeling. So yeah, I think I had the stock, like whatever Simagic came with for the brake pedal elastomers in. Like I looked at changing them before, and I changed it to be something softer, but I think I probably made it too soft. And then I was like I don't really like this. And I switched back. I also didn't give it like any amount of laps on it. I was just instantly like felt it, ran like maybe half a lap, and was like, this sucks. And so this time I just like made the change, made it a little bit more in between, and now it all feels a bit better. I think I want to, if I'm doing GT3, like, obviously there's the cars that I'm stronger at. I really want to, like, I think I want to, like, use the car that the, like, aliens are using, like, they're like, this is the fastest car here. Not because I think it's going to make me any faster, but I think because I'd like to be able to, as I'm getting better, be able to switch cars and not have, like, not know how to drive it, or be like, wow, this car is, like, so foreign to me, like, it's definitely the fastest here, but I can't drive it, like, I can't figure it out. With the exception of the Acura. I don't know. I really hated that car. When I raced it here the other day, the on throttle and stability was great, but the brake was so fucking bad. To a point where I'm like, oh shit, my brake is broken again. I think I need to recalibrate it and fix it and maybe adjust it some more. And so I like recalibrated it and it was still like shit, and I was like, fuck, did I just make it worse? No, I didn't. The brake's just that bad. Like, you have to slam them, and then they're like, I don't know, it feels like they took brakes from an actual, like, Honda Accord and put them on a race car. Like, you don't get trailing because you're, like, on the brakes so fucking hard. And I don't know, I don't like that. I feel like, I don't think any other GT3s I have driven are really like that. I like the underdriving that you have to do with the GT3s. Generally like when the car, you have to underdrive it, like, which is interesting since Formula cars you don't necessarily underdrive it, but with the GT cars I like underdriving it. I think that mindset of just underdriving it generally makes me not take unnecessary risks with passing and stuff, and really fight cleanly and correctly, because I'm not pushing the car so fucking hard to where I'm going to spin it constantly. But obviously there's the balance of underdriving it too much, right? So, which I think I can improve on. But I feel like my lap times this race aren't the best, but for sitting here talking and not paying too much attention, they're decent. I don't know what car I want to try next. I also want to try the Mustang. I think I'm going to do the Merc because Mike said it was really good, and I think it'd be exciting to do the Merc here. I've liked the Mustang when I've driven it. I'm surprised. I really liked the Corvette when it first came out, but I think I was also a different driver, a lot different driver then, where I was like, this is great. It's so nice and easy to drive. But I think it was so nice and easy to drive because I like wasn't really pushing the car. So, oh man, I wanted to check out the first lap. It's fine. It was just and we dodged it all. But no, good result. What did I get? Like I finished like pretty high up. Sure, I'll update my client real quick. We'll register for the next real quick while this is doing that. We'll do the Mercedes. I think I still got that Bathurst livery on it. Sure do. I don't know why it's orange like that. I must have like overrid a color or something. Overrode. Finished 15th, which was like plus like 60 or something crazy if this would have been ranked. So I don't know. Did pretty good. I'm happy with it. I could have done better, but pretty good result. I'm excited to see what this Merc feels like here. Wow, a $5 Best Buy certificate. What could I buy for $5 at Best Buy? I'm sure it's a minimum purchase you have to do, but wow, $5. Best Buy like has gotten pretty decent lately. Mostly like ordering has gotten a lot better. It's pretty quick. But I'll be right back before this starts. Okay, we're back. He just woke up. I opened the window when I was over there, and he was just like, holy shit. He doesn't come in here much when I race. He does when I'm working. He'll just sit there and under my feet and just moan all day until I play with him. Okay, let's see what this is like. Oh, I'm inside of a car. Look at that.
Give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
I think I need to adjust my like seating position slightly. Like I think I need to be leaned a little bit farther back. I think might be sitting a little too straight. I don't know. Oh, it feels like a boat already. Okay, saying a lot of words, but they're not coming out much. I'm solo in this car. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a penis in this car. I don't know if you can even see that on stream. It's behind the standings in the top left. I seen a thing where on the PlayStation trophy you're able to like attach an actual bucket seat to the car, like utilizing like just a regular like seat bracket. Well, maybe not a regular one. You would only be utilizing the like you'd be mounting it from the side, not like the regular brackets. There's like an L bracket, but I saw somebody do it. And they were able to utilize the screw holes that were already in on the play seat, and I think that could be really nice, because this seat is like fine, but I think it would be really cool to have an actual bucket seat on here. I think the one I saw was like a Sparko bucket seat. Like, and I think if I got one, like I'd want to get a decent one, because I would then put it on whatever rig I were to get next, right? Once I eventually have space for something bigger than the play seat. I guess it would make it a little bit heavy to move this thing with that seat on there, but those seats are pretty light still. I need to get rollers on it eventually. I forget that this car, or I forgot that this car has like kind of a snap of oversteer sometimes on the weight change, which you don't get often in the McLaren. Okay, this guy's voice just showing up over and over again is annoying me, even though he's not saying anything. Ooh. Not enough braking. But like, NRG, I think it's a company that has some pretty cool seats. I don't know. I think that would be really cool to get. Cause it's the, like, it's the one thing about this rig where it's just like having this like all fabric seat thing. Like, I think I lack support. I lack like, I guess I won't really get adjustability with too much with the bucket seat. I could add the like lumbar pads, right? But I guess I can adjust the seat angle, but I think it'd be so nice to have something with a little bit more support. And also, like, just more, like, what's the word? Like stability, like because the bucket seats like actually would like wrap my like put me like more in place, and I wouldn't be able to move as freely, which I think is good for driving. But here it's just like I'm kind of just leaning against a wall almost. It's just like flat. Ooh, that was bad. I feel like my lap time is gonna be a dick. Probably 2:05. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we can do now the tires are a bit warmer. Oh, no, we're just jumping right in the race. We'll figure it out as we go, I guess. Look at this livery, though. Man, whoever made this livery... I feel like I hate it now. I need to, like, update it if we're to race this again. I just don't like the Mercedes for liveries. There's just no space on like the bumper, and there's too much space on the sides and the like hood. I don't know. Yeah, I need to find. I saw this guy. I saw one post on Instagram where this guy took a Placey trophy and attached a Sparko seat to it, and I have seen nobody else talk about that. So I know it's possible, but there's not like a wealth of information on how to do it. I think I'd want to get some better screws to do it, like some longer ones. Maybe a little bit more heavy duty. I mean, they can't be too thick because then they wouldn't fit, right? But though, I guess like a normal bucket seat is attached to a rig, like the seat is attached to the bracket with like only 4 screws, and I think this would be the same. The thing with the screws that he uses, though, it's like very far. Like, I wonder if I'd be sitting too close to the pedals. I don't know. I'll have to look into it more. Because the last thing I want to do is buy a bucket seat. Maybe I just buy the brackets first and kind of fit those and see what that's like. But the last thing I want to do is buy a bucket seat and it not work, and then either have to return it or it's just sitting around until an undetermined amount of time until I have a rig that I can actually put it on. So we just re-signed our lease for here for another year, so I'll be here at least 1 more year. And who knows if the place that I move next is going to have more room in the office than this. I would like if it did. Then I could fit another rig, or fit an actual rig. If I wasn't so worried, or not me, if I had the fiance's approval, I would just have not bought that chest of drawers behind me and then just put the sim rig on that wall. But I don't know. I'm sure there's a way that I could configure the room right now to fit like a full 3 monitor rig in here, but it would just be pretty tight, I think. So there's a closet on this wall. Whoa, this wall over here. And if that wasn't there, then I could definitely do it. But my desk is too deep to where I couldn't push my desk all the way against the wall, because then I couldn't open the closet door. Which honestly wouldn't be a deal breaker for me because there's another door and I could just shimmy in and get stuff if I need to, which is rarely, but aesthetically it would be pretty ugly looking. I don't know. Maybe my Twitch will get big enough and I'll just get sponsored by somebody and then they send me a new chassis, and then it's just like, well, I'll just make room for it because it's free. I didn't spend money on it. It's different. If it's free, then you can make it fit. If you paid for it, then you're intentionally choosing to not make it fit. That's my logic, at least. And the other thing is I also wouldn't want to buy another chassis for this space because I feel like I wouldn't get the one I wanted because I'd be more concerned about space constraints, you know? Where if I were to have a lot more room here, I probably would buy a different chassis. I don't know. I'd probably get one of the SimLab ones. Or the Apex sim racing stuff's pretty good right now too. I think that's what Morad uses. He's got a really nice setup. He just put out a video yesterday or the day before going through like the ergonomics of his setup. Very interesting. And also it's fun just to like oodle at his setup while he's talking about it. I don't think I'd ever want motion though. I see people that have motion on their rigs and I don't know, I feel like the haptics are enough. I feel like it would just get old really fast with the motion rig. Where I can't just like chill and race. Every time I race it's like I'm in a vibrating engine. And if I turn it off to not have that happen, I feel like then I'm like not utilizing the thing that I probably spent like thousands of dollars on, you know? So that's a waste of money. I saw somebody, fuck, on Etsy. Man, I fucked that corner up really hard. We'll fix it next lap. The weight transfer through there is just really tough. I saw somebody on Etsy with the Placey trophy have these essentially things like mounts where you can put on each like corner of it, the rig. I thought it was like butt kickers, but it might be something else. But essentially it like gave the rig like motion. Maybe it wasn't butt kickers. I don't think it was like a D-box though. I'm not sure what it was. But it gave the rig motion. And it's like a 3D printed part that helps you accomplish that, which also sounds sketchy. But one day I'll have enough room for a 3D printer. So that way I can actually tinker with it and print stuff. It would have came in so handy for a lot of the stuff on the rig to just be able to print it. But I wouldn't want to like use somebody else's 3D printer and have to go through the friction of that because I'd want to actually be able to design and iterate on whatever thing that I'm building. Like I'm sure there's some where it's just ready to go prints, but if there's something I want to do custom, it sounds really annoying not to have my own 3D printer. I guess I could technically fit one on that shelf back there if I move the espresso machine, but I don't think I want to dive into another expensive hobby like that right now. I'm already hyper-focused enough on one of them. Very slow lap. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong setup too. I think I'm on the Bathurst setup. I don't think it changed. That's probably why I'm not doing so well. I mean, it's probably not helping at least. I think I just saw that it was a setup that wasn't the baseline setup and was like, oh, that's it. But I think that's probably not helping. I'm gonna have great straight line speed, I can tell you that. Some more breakthrough there. I feel like this car really needs to be underdriven, even more than the other cars. But like the braking isn't very underdrivey. I don't know. This is why I go back and forth on this car. I think I liked this car at Bathurst. I don't know if I'm gonna like this car at other tracks. What's up? Yeah, I got pretty bad bedhead this morning. Haven't showered yet. Yeah, I think I have the wrong setup on. I need more downforce, especially through there. I hope I have the wrong setup on, or this is embarrassing. We're in a 202 with it, though. I mean, it's slow as balls, but... I don't know, I had the right setup on this entire time. Cool. I'm just bad then. Maybe I was just making excuses for myself, and I was like, well, this is actually pretty good now that I have the no pressure of being on the right setup. I need to make it better next time we do it. It's okay, but it's just missing something, and I haven't put my finger on what yet. So Mercedes doesn't feel like an instant, like, holy shit, this is great car here. But I feel like if it was something where I was practicing this car here as intentionally as I was practicing at Bathurst, it would be pretty good. Like, I don't understand its quirks fully enough outside the context of Bathurst. I'm just a perfectionist. And then if I make something, I think it's cool for about a day or two, and then I am like, this needs to be different. And the only reason I haven't changed like my McLaren livery is because I'm lazy. I think it could be better, but it's a lot of work sometimes. Especially, it's less work when I'm doing it for somebody else because I feel like their bar for the livery is a lot lower than my own bar for my own livery. So, I don't know. Yeah. There's some things I choose to care about and some things I don't choose to care about with the livery, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the colors. I think I'm not as big a fan of like black based liveries. Like I think I like you see the issues too, my issues. I think I like lighter looking cars. I mean, they can have black in them still, but like where the base is a little bit lighter. I really like the look of like silver and white cars. I think that looks really clean, but it just wasn't making sense for this livery. I also don't love the logo, like it, and it's also pixelated as shit. Yeah, man. Never satisfied. Like with my sim rig, I'm never going to be satisfied. It's just constantly going to be adjusting this. I don't think I'm ever going to reach a point where I'm like, this is complete. Not because, like, I have everything I want. Like, I could even have every single thing. You could give me unlimited dollars and I could buy every single sim rig thing that I've ever wanted. And it still would not be done. And then also in this hypothetical situation, we pause time and no new sim gear is invented, ever. Like, I would still be, like, adjusting it and wanting to trade out things and stuff like that. I'm just... Something... It can always be better. There's not many things where I'm like... Yeah, that's good, and then it'll always be good. Everything is like, it's good enough for now. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a, what's the word? Not like a mental disability. Because it's definitely not that, but like, if it's like a condition. I think it's a little bit of hyper focus and a little bit of perfectionism. So my therapist says that, well, obviously I have a lot of ADHD tendencies because I have ADHD, especially with hyperfocus and hyperfixation. And then I have perfectionism tendencies, which leads to like sometimes procrastinating things. Not as much anymore, definitely in school. Where it's like, sometimes it depends on the class. If I'm interested in it, yes. But I'll procrastinate things because I know that I have the bar set so high for myself that I'll never clear it, so I just never want to start it. You know? Like, I've always wanted to start my like own like company, like tech company. But I either lose interest too quickly in the thing that I'm building to like get there, or I start with an idea and then I beat the idea to death until I realize that it's not a good idea. Which is stupid because there's so many companies that are just the same idea of another company but executed in a different, better way, and I know I could execute in a different, better way, but getting to the point of where I'm actually launching something, hard. So I've been telling myself that I want to do, like, I think a goal for myself was one day to like build a company. It doesn't have to be a big one. Like, I don't think I'd want it to become a big one. Just like a nice, chill, sustainable tech company. And I don't know. I don't see myself getting another job after this job. Like in the traditional sense, unless some like really insane opportunity comes to work on a very specific thing at a very specific company, which I don't know what that would be. But I think after I'm done with this job in like however long, 5+ years, maybe less depending on what happens with whatever I come up with, but I think the next thing I want to be is my own thing, which could be an utter complete failure, but okay, let's see how much carnage is about to ensue. I'm surprised he made it through the pace lap with how much kind of movement around was happening. Ooh. Rewind. Dude, what are you doing? Buddy, you want... Why are you going off? Why are you going off the track to pass? That's bonkers, dude. If this was officials, that'd be a fat ass report.
What the fuck is going on, guys?
The dude went off the track to the left to pass me, making it 3 wide. Wasn't gonna make the corner at all and just like took me out. I'm sure Karma will get him. It was like a yellow and black looking like Mustang, I think. Okay. Ooh. I guess that guy was the one with his race. Yeah. It would definitely be helpful. I think I have a lot of perspective from people I know that have founded tech companies or worked very early at tech companies where they're involved in a lot of the, like, all of that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I don't want to, like, I think I'd want to raise, like, maybe a cool, like, 1 or 2 million at the beginning. And that would like last until profitability. But so many of these tech companies are like keep taking funding and keep growing in order to like become like wildly profitable one day. which I think is fun and admirable, and if you want to do that, you can do that. But I'd rather just like take some upfront funding to de-risk like the amount of risk I have to take, where I'm like not going to get paid until I make profit. Like that would suck, right? If I could de-risk that, that would be cool. But then I would essentially take that money until I either totally flop or until I come up with something that is profitable, then I pay the investor back, and then I just like focus on making the business sustain by itself and not have to have a boss ever again. The other thing is like, fuck, dude. Is this the guy from earlier? Was it a Ferrari? The other thing about, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I guess the thing with starting a company is like my life would be a lot less pushy. Like I probably wouldn't be sim racing any, if at all, because I'd be so focused on getting the company to a point where it can stay afloat by itself, and like deciding if that's what I want for my life, is to like make that sacrifice for like long-term comfort potentially is one thing, or there's like the other part of it where I could just like start something up while I'm employed and do that on the side until it gets to a point where I can replace my like cost of living with it, and then I go full-time on it. But that again just involves so many hours that's outside of my normal job, and so I really wouldn't be able to do anything too much like fun outside of it. So finding like a balance there would just be very tough. Yeah, a lot of the tech stuff is just like, how can we like, it's not so much the founders doing this, it's more of the investors investing in the company. They're like, they get board seats, so they get some say in how things are run and all that kind of stuff, and get to vote on board things. And their like interest is maximizing their profitability, right? Or like maximizing their profits from their investment. And because they only have like X percent, like that really needs to be maximized, so that way they get like a payoff that is worth it and covers all of the like failed investments that they made, right? And so instead of just shooting for a small company that's going to pay off the loan and then move on, or pay off the investors, like buy back out their shares and move on, they want something that is going to pay millions of dollars, which means that it's like scale so fast in an unsustainable way and see if you can figure out how to make a lot of money. And if you don't, then the company fails and it's all for nothing, which I don't know, not exactly how I would like to do things. I've been in, my last company was definitely like that, and it did not work. The company I'm at now is definitely, we take on investors, but I think sustainability is a lot more of a focus. I also think the narrative in venture capitalist investing has changed a lot over the last few years. Ever since the like COVID kind of recession thing happened, they're a lot more focused on successful investments versus quantity of investments, right? They're more focused on the quality, and so that way there's a higher percentage of it paying off versus just casting a wide net and hoping for something. Yeah. Well, the other thing that investors kind of give you is, depending on who you choose, I think who you choose as an investor is almost it's more important, like 100% way more important than the money that they give you. Because then you're essentially choosing like a partner to help guide you through it. So if your investor that you work with was like somebody that founded a company and was a former operator, then it's super great to have them as like a sounding board, or like getting advice from, and then just their network that they have. Like if you need to tap into that, I think it puts you at a huge advantage. But I would never want to take an investment from somebody who has strictly just been an investor and hasn't actually operated a company. I feel like there's a lot of investors like that in venture capital that are very big. I would never want to take an investment from them because they just don't. They're so far removed from the problem at hand that they just don't have enough like time. Like they don't have enough time in the seat to be able to help me navigate it. They're just throwing out things that they heard works or have seen other people do. So it's not super helpful. Because before, people would just take money from whoever was going to pay them the most amount. And even that has changed. Like at my company, we could go out and raise a lot of money if we wanted to. But in both investment rounds, they made the conscious choice of taking a lot less than we need to protect their, like, obviously their own interests in the amount of shares that are sold, but also like not to set expectations at places that we can't reach. If somebody invests $100 million in your company and you fail, like that's a lot bigger of a fall than the other way around. Like if it's like 5 million, right? And so you just like, you start to lose control of the company when you take on that kind of money, because other people have more of a say than you do, because they have more monetary interest in the outcome. So I don't know. That's why my last company failed that I worked at. They just raised way too much money, scaled way too fast, hired way too many people, weren't super intentional about growth with hiring, and just hire the person that like looked good on paper. Like they would hire like the person that worked at this great company and had this great job, but like so many professionals that you look for, that if you look at just their resume, are just professional fakers. Like they're really good at managing up and they're really good at faking it, and they're not actual like doers. The reason why they're in the role that they are is because they have a good team around them probably, and that has ended up like driving a lot of their success. But a lot of the people that we hired would probably be people like that, but then wouldn't have any team under them or anything because it was a smaller company or whatever, or it was a new department. And so they would come in, we'd pay them all this money, and then we would either like fire them or ask them to leave because they wouldn't be able to like hack it. So there's a lot of facets of all this. It's my other world that I spend all the time in. One part of my brain is racing, and the other part of my brain is this. Yeah, I'm sure. The nice thing is like, at least from my perspective, is I saw a company ran the incorrect way and learned all of the things not to do. And the company that I'm at now, I feel like I'm learning the correct ways of doing things. Like, when it comes to like building the company, building the culture, like how we work, like different things like that. Like they're doing it the right way, and I'm learning from that. So I've seen like both sides of it now. And so well, hopefully this company pans out that I'm at right now. I feel like it will. I feel like it's a lot different than the last one in a really good way. And like we're actually like making actual money, not just like pissing away hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm glad I saw both sides of it before I would start my own thing. I think I save a lot of time learning lessons and failing in places that now I won't be failing in because I've already seen that failure and the warning signs, or now how like to be preventative about that and proactive about that from the beginning by making intentional choices about kind of how things work. Fuck. Yeah, the snap of oversteer that I get on that prior corner is pretty intense. I don't think I don't know. Maybe with some more seat time here, I would like this car. Like, it doesn't feel awful. Just not a huge fan. I really want to try the Mustang here. I need to figure out if I'm going to do the F4 race tonight. I want to, but we'll see. I also haven't practiced Indy Road at all on the F4 car, which, I mean, I'm sure you're in the same boat. I would have liked to, but I'm having a lot more fun with week 13 stuff. But I raced Indy Road and the Porsche Cup, so at least I have some idea of how the track flows a bit. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different in the F4, but I don't think... Is the race in the rain? I knew it was originally, but I think Ducky might have changed his mind about that. I don't remember. I also need to get a lot of work done today, so we'll see when I end. Yeah, it's probably a game time decision. I know I'm gonna be tired as shit since I didn't go to bed until late last night and woke up early at the same time again. I don't know how you do that every day. Like, I'm a much more productive person with my 8 hours of sleep. The only reason I was really staying up late this week is because Destiny had a lot of work to do in the evenings. So she was out there grading and stuff and lesson planning, and so since she was up, I wasn't going to bed early with her. I don't know. I'd like to be more of a night owl, like selfishly, but I feel like my body operates better being up earlier in the morning. Yeah, I'm sure you do. It's just also terrible for like long-term health. Like, lack of sleep is like directly tied to like how long you live. Like, you end up living so much longer if you're like getting good sleep, because that's your body's time to recover and heal itself, and if you're not getting enough of that, then you're just kind of going into the day raw without as much of that time. I don't know. And it also sucks being tired. Like, it just kind of ruins everything and makes everything a little bit duller. I don't know, that's one thing as an adult, is I've always prioritized, like, for the most part, getting like a full 8 hours of sleep. I don't know why I decided to do that, because I didn't really learn about that, like, didn't actually look into like the health benefits of all that until later. But I don't know, maybe it was nice after like college. I would be up early for like work and stuff before class, and then I'd be up late doing some ignorant shit, and so I'd never really sleep. And then once I kind of was able to operate on my own schedule fully, I was just like, I'm gonna sleep in on weekends, and I'm gonna go to bed at a normal hour, and it's gonna be great. Fully domesticated adult. What happened lap 1? I'm sure it's gonna look fucking ridiculous. Okay, so it was this guy. Who is this guy? Jerome. 5.3K. I mean, there was a little bit of a gap. Was there a gap? Technically. Should he have taken that gap? Probably not. I'm glad I was only really the one affected by that, but like he just like he wasn't making this corner. Like it's not like he was staying alongside and like if it wasn't for the fact that he'd hit me, he would have been a lot straighter. But he hit me and he was able to then make the corner because of it. Like that was just a little too aggressive. Oh well, you'll have that. Alright. I think that is it for me today. I gotta go write some code and be a productive member of society. I'll try to be on free F4 tonight. It's definitely a game time decision. I want to race more Sebring at some point this weekend. I guess I'll get an opportunity on Monday too, but I really want to race the Mustang here. And then at that point, the only cars I haven't raced would be the Porsche, the Lamborghini, and the Audi, which I don't think I'd buy the Audi. But so I think the Mustang and the Porsche I would really like to try here. It's nice using Sebring as kind of a benchmark to learn the car since I know the track so well. And I'm getting actual on-track time in a race without having to worry about safety rating and iRating. So I feel like it's a good opportunity that I should take advantage of. But yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in. We were picking up at like 4 or 5 viewers and had some people jumping in on YouTube. So I appreciate the support. And if I get on tonight for the race, it'd be around between 7 and 8 o'clock Central. So if you're around then, I might be around then too. We'll see. See ya.